This is the Dale Not Dale Podcast, Season 3.
Is there enough space on it to get this one? Because that camera...
There's 12 plus hours left.
Oh,
there we go.
okay. Because that camera got the hiss to it.
When we hit 11 hours, just tell us.
Yeah.
You told your wife you're not coming home.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're doing a lock-in podcast.
Yeah, dude. First one to get up loses. Last one to stays gets $100 grand from Mr. Beast. All right, we'll roll with everything we've been talking about. So we're live for next episode of Dale Not Dale Podcast with a special guest in the house, my buddy Kyle Kindle from TAOK Visuals. Is that how you say TAOK?
So it's, dude, I get this question.
TAOK? How do you?
Yeah, so it's TAOK, and it's an acronym. And looking back at it, it was probably the worst marketing mistake I could ever made.
That's terrible.
Not putting the acronym dots, right? But it's an acronym for the art of kindness. And yeah, so yes, TAOK. Yeah, TAOK Visuals.
I was going to make a joke about it until you said it was about
Well, come on,
kindness.
you got to tell me the joke.
The joke's over. Joke's over.
Kindness. Did they call you Kindness Kyle growing up?
No, man. So it's funny, right? Like that was actually a rebrand. So back in my old YouTube videos, if you find them, my old vlogs.
Kill it, Kyle.
We'll
talk about that later.
It was The Adventures of Kindy, and I got that nickname when I was in the military because I hated snakes. And so did Indiana Jones. So Kindy, Indy, it just kind of stuck, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty, that's a weird way to get there.
Yeah.
Some people take the road less traveled.
Yeah. So man, me and you met at a golf tournament, and then for your father-in-law.
Yeah.
We met through some mutual friends. I know your sister-in-law well, and then ever since then we've been talking. Then I did your podcast, which you have a podcast, which is called?
It's Dude, I Want That Job.
Yep. So I did that one a while back with you. So then the TAOK Visuals, you started that just recently, right? Like, as far as the building goes, I'm saying?
Yeah, so the creative studio aspect of it has only been about a year old. And we're actually moving because through having a podcast space and a film studio, it's 3,000 square feet. And
yeah.
As you can see in this room, you don't need 3,000 square feet to have a podcast studio and film studio. So we're just downsizing. And
why don't you get a boat?
Maybe like an RV.
Dude, that's what I would do.
Podcast on a motorcycle.
Dude, let's do it.
Yeah,
Get the little side cart.
Wind noise is a bitch, though.
I would need Magnus in the side cart. Just
dude, he's
on the ones and twos.
He's a sidecar guy.
He
looks like one.
Hair just blowing in the wind.
He always tries to get on the back seat of my motorcycle.
Dude, all his nipples are hard.
Oh, God. They call him Glass Cutter. That's his ride nickname.
Yeah. So you've been doing that. But I mean, you shot a music video in there. So
yeah. So
the room was handy then.
Sure, and I mean, and that's what that space was for, right? It was supposed to be just a very versatile space to where creative individuals could come, rent the space, and use it because, maybe you guys have this feeling sometimes too, right? It's like I was creating videos in my house, and I would put my backdrops down, and I have kids. And it was just not conducive for me getting in the zone, right? To make videos to where I felt like I was fulfilled in doing it. And just that the opportunity kind of presented itself. And it's weird, dude. I got the idea from a dream I had. And
was Indiana Jones in it?
No, man.
Okay.
No, he wasn't.
I
would have done anything for Harrison Ford in my dream.
Dude.
In his prime.
Okay.
Dude, he's still prime.
He is.
But he's aged.
Yeah.
Dude, he looks horrible.
So what was the dream, man?
Yeah. So I had a dream now. So the dream was, dude, when I got out of the military, I was like nonstop smoking weed because for 10 years I couldn't smoke weed. So of course that's like any military veteran, and they're like, I just can't wait to get out and just smoke a joint. Right. So that was, I got out, started smoking weed, 1 joint led to 3 joints, 3 joints led to 3 days, 3 days led to 1 month. You know, it was just nonstop for 2 years. And having my media company, you know, it was just one of those things to where it was becoming a distraction to where I said I owned a media company almost for clout more than anything. And just like, yeah, I can shoot a video here and there, but I was not serious about it.
Yeah.
And I realized that that was a huge distraction in my life. And with young kids, it was just, I saw where my path was going and was not somewhere I wanted to go.
Right.
And so I had I was super convicted about it, and I had a dream. And in the dream, I was in this warehouse, and lots of people were there. Everyone was smiling, happy.
Weed smoke everywhere.
Yeah, just Wiz Khalifa was in the corner. And he's like,
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
no, but yeah, it was a crazy dream, and everyone was having fun. And I just remember it got like super solemn and quiet. And I heard like a voice, and the voice said, you know, if you quit smoking weed, I can give you it all. Is what I remember hearing this dream. And I remember waking up, and I'm like,
I think that was your wife.
I think it was Harrison Ford.
It was someone, man. I mean, could have been like Will Ferrell for all I don't know, dude. But it was someone, and you know, my wife and I went to Houston a week prior for like fraternity pictures in a studio, and I was, you know, understanding the whole business model of it, and I was like, dude, we're trying to get into real estate investing. I was like, why don't we just invest in a studio and do hourly rentals instead of monthly rentals for tenants, right? And it's been a hard year. I mean, we've had bookings. It's been great. I've gotten a lot of business because of having the space.
There's nothing like that around here either, though.
There's not, right? And I wanted to make something that would really benefit everyone in the community. But, you know, the problem is in this area specifically, I mean, you guys are maybe even just one of one, right? Like legitimate podcasts in this area that I've seen, right? So it's like I had a lot of people come by and they're like, we want a podcast, we want this, we want that. And then you give them the price and they're like, I don't want a podcast anymore.
Oh,
right?
It's expensive as
right?
hell.
And it's not even like I was gouging. It's just like, hey, like my time, this is a business. Like this is what it's kind of worth. And a lot of hobbyists.
Well, our first 6 months, we spent a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Equipment, furniture. And you could have did it cheaper. Obviously, when we started Happily Ever Banner, we did it. We scaled it back on the stuff. We spent money on the mics, but like the board was cheaper. Me and him learned we just learned on the fly. We were like, hey, I wanted to do one. Brought him one day. He said he would do it, and I was like, okay. And then we kicked the can down the road for a few months, and then we finally like, all right, let's do it. And then we're like, well, let's think of a name. Got a name. And then Bond's real big, like, all right, let's put a date on it to where we're going to do it. So we put a date on it. We had all the stuff in that forced us to buy the things and do it. And then from there, it was just like figuring out. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And I think that's really like the whole name of the game with anything, right? It's just you're not going to know unless you do it. And you have to fail at it. And then you have to figure out, okay, how did I fail? Why did I fail? And what can I do to get a little bit better? And you just stack those wins, man. I mean, I think there's a business even in itself in just producing podcasts and planning and helping people with their podcast, right? I mean, I bit off, to be completely honest, like I bit off way more than I was expecting, even from a podcast perspective, right? Like here, I'm a guy who understand lighting, I understand camera settings, mics and all that, but dude, I understand how to make my podcast, but I can't tell you how to make yours. Like that's your vision.
And then being creative for them with
a
realm you're not familiar with. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you can find a good producer or just someone who's in the industry who really understands marketing from that kind of perspective, man, they're worth their weight in gold. They really are because they're so rare.
We've been trying to find one.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, I found Magnus just through my brother-in-law, and he films and does stuff. And then we met at this event. We kind of started talking. I was telling him about what we were doing. And then I don't know how it was. Like if I hit him up, say, hey, man, or you mentioned something like, hey, dude, I'd like to help out. Like let's kind of see what that is. And then invited Magnus over. We donned his name, Magnus.
Yeah, we knighted him.
Von knighted him.
Sir Magnus.
And then we just kind of like... he brought what he knows on that side of it. And same way for him, he's learned a lot on the podcast side because he wasn't doing podcasts before. So like doing that, making reels and like just, I mean, early on, we would listen to podcasts and we would tell ideas, and then he would find parts in the podcast that was funny, and then he would put his little spin on it, putting like the little gifs or pictures on there. And we'd have people that tell us like, man, y'all's reels are really funny because there's those little extra little things, those snap-ins.
Oh, totally.
And that was really, just from his background in video, but it's still a different medium than what he was doing. So,
yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? Like I've seen some of Magnus's work; it's fantastic, and there's something to be said though about even videography, right? I feel like there's a huge misconception to where there's a huge difference between wedding videography, commercials, just full-on productions, and short-form content. The strategy is different. The editing style is different. You're not going to put memes on a Nissan commercial,
no,
right? Or a wedding.
Right.
So it's like, and then even if you go even more granular, and we're talking memes now, well, you got to source the memes somewhere. You got to find them. You got it's very strategic, man. And like, I just think a lot of people from the, I guess from the client perspective, right? Like when I have to explain to clients like, hey, this is kind of what it costs and why, it's very hard sometimes for these people to understand why it's worth anywhere from 25 to $6,000 a month for 12 to 15 reels with, X amount of, if we're posting, if we're doing your email campaign.
Most of them lack the conceptualization of it.
And that's the thing. Well, and I think a lot of videographers, shame on a lot of videographers, and I was one of these as well, to where we're creatives, dude. We're not salesmen at first, right? So it's like sometimes you're really good at talking about, the plane ride to the destination, but you don't sell the destination very well. You need to be more of a travel agent than you do a flight attendant.
Right. No, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No. I think that's what worked well between us. We had a lot of, I'd have ideas, bounce off them. He had ideas, and we we kind of a three-headed monster trying to figure this thing out. And so, same for us. We talked about different things like, hey, man, we have our Vondale Media. Mm-hmm. Like, how do we, because I've talked to other people. I've helped buddies out that wanted to start podcasts. More so just kind of consulting, like, hey, this is the stuff I would buy. Don't go crazy on the board, but go spend more money on the mics. Do this, do that. I was like, you could do it as cheap as you can do it straight on. Like my buddy that owns Positive Vibe Movement, he started his back, and I was like, dude, you could spend as much or as little as you want. So you can do it cheap for $20 a month on Riverside, record it because you're doing stuff with Zoom and all his people all over the country. And I would help him out with the audio and do little things for him just on the side. But I was like, you could do that for little or nothing. Buy a mic, hook it to your laptop, and and he was doing a podcast that was doing good. He got a sponsor and stuff like that.
Well, and I think that there's something to be said though about even just doing I have, it's taken me a year and a half, maybe 2 years to even get an editor for like my team and for my clients, because I'm realizing that within my business, I don't want the perception to be that I'm just this guy who makes cool videos and, I can edit really quick, right? No, like that's not going to drive my business forward. What I need is to be customer facing, client facing, and selling the dream to them, and having my team members who are really proficient, and I can pay them, a fee to do that, solely do that. And same with podcasting, right? I think it's okay though to start and edit your own videos and learn on YouTube how to use the mics and why is the lighting need to be at a 45-degree angle instead of straight on. Like that's good fundamental things to learn when you're starting in videography, photography, podcasting, because then you can go to someone like Magnus or myself and be like, hey, this is kind of how we like it, but I'd love your creative touch as well. But I understand some people don't have the time to do that. I mean, you guys both are, in the rat race of corporate America, and you guys are crushing it in your own industries, and you don't necessarily have the time to do that. So that's where if you have the capital to do so, we'll hire someone for sure. But for all those people out there that are maybe on the fence on wanting to start a podcast or anything like that, my recommendation, man, would just be like, just go dip your foot in the water and try it.
Like Gary Vee says, man, just go do it.
Yeah.
Like, get it started. Because like I said, we started at literally his mother-in-law's bed, like front room at our house. The first, 2 or 3?
Yeah.
2 or 3 there. We just recording there. We had a camera on each of us, and we were doing that. And then it morphed into his shop at his garage, like it was enclosed. And then we kind of built out like a studio set in there. And that's what we did.
And do you guys watch those podcasts now and just cringe?
Bogey Bros. Hey, let's talk about our sponsor, Bogey Bros, for a minute. These guys recently joined the Dale Not Dale podcast, and they have a great winter sale going on right now in the month of December. Tell them about it, Vaughn.
Dude, it's a 2-for-1 deal. You buy 2 polos, get 1 free.
Yep.
Is that the real thing?
Yeah, buy 2 hats, get 1 free. But you can't
mix and match.
No,
right?
dude. I'm sure we could find a way to hack the mainframe and do it.
I'm pretty sure we could.
So we're gonna do it. But like I say, hey, for all you golfers out there, or if you have a husband, wife that golfs, they have women's polos as well. But they have the great, they're fun polos. They're not the boring old style polos like Vaughn used to wear.
Right.
He's delivered.
I am delivered.
He's wearing Bogey Bro podcast, Bogey Bro stuff now.
I am.
So, but yeah, go to their in the link in our bio for my personal and Dale Not Dale podcast. We have a link to use that link that helps us get money from them. So, dude, we gotta show some good faith that we're doing something for them.
Yeah, and we want some of you to put on these polos to go into work and piss your boss off.
Yeah. It'd be a nice shirt. They get up close. It's a bunch of bears, 69, and it's genius. Wear it to church.
It is. You can wear it to church.
Yeah.
I think God's got a sense of humor.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, so Bogey Bros has joined up with us. So make sure, go to the link in our bios, go shopping. Make sure to use our link, please. I'm begging you right now. Use the link. It's going to help a podcast. It helps support the boys, help support our friends over at Bogey Bros. But like I said, take advantage of their sale right now. Get out of the boring golf polos. Wear some cool shit.
Please wear some cool shit, because that's all you can do these days.
And I'm rocking the new visor. So I'm a big visor guy.
He's a visor guy. You're like Lane Kiffin.
Dude, I am Lane Kiffin.
I knew you were. I seen it in you.
Yep. So go to bogeybros.com. Bogeybros.golfco.com, I think it is.
It's .co. I think it's bogeybros.co.
Just Google it, dude. It's a lot easier. Just go to the link in our bio. Don't even go look up their website. Don't waste your time. But like I said, hey, take advantage of the sale and help support the podcast.
Absolutely.
Bogey Bros. Say it.
Bogey Bros.
We touched balls.
Or do you?
I'll laugh. We're funny.
Yeah.
No, I enjoy them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. No, I thought they were still hilarious to this day. But yeah, if you look at the the evolution of the podcast, it's like, man, look where we started, look where we're at, and it's like we're not even halfway to the journey, right?
It's a beautiful evolution.
Yeah, it really is. It's an evolution everybody can agree on.
Yeah, Vaughn's upright now. He was a monkey yesterday.
What are you talking about? And sometimes you just got to fire people in the middle of the podcast.
Oh, but you know what? Magnus is like a Jamie, dude. You need a Jamie.
Dude, he's got his own merch shirt out there.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I've yet to see it in person, but I need to.
I'll have to get you one.
Oh man.
He's like, no. Dude, the day so when I had that idea, I sent it to Vito. I'm like, hey, here's my thoughts. And then he made them. And then I got me and Vaughn each one. And so we wore it underneath a zip up hoodie. He had no idea. And we're he pressed record and we unzip our stuff. He's like, my arms aren't that hairy. That's the first thing he said.
And the second thing he said was, what's my right hand doing?
Yeah, what's my hand out?
What's my hand underneath the desk? And I'm like, that's because that's your natural position.
Everything is intentional, Magnus.
Yeah.
I think actually Dale felt a little bad that my hands were underneath the desk.
I didn't think about that, but I mean, hey. You know, pervert when you see one.
You ain't lying.
But yeah, like I said, that was we just had a plan to do it and figure it out, and that's really what happened. I mean, like I said, it was just we wanted to do it, and it wasn't like I said. Hey, we ended up we started in July of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, 22.
22.
Yeah.
And then we come up at the end of that year to start 23. We're like, all right, let's focus on monetizing and trying to like get a sponsor. We did that. We seeked out like February. We met with Good Ranchers at their office.
Yeah.
And then boom, like we got our first sponsor. And like that was a godsend. So we, had some money coming in because we were everything's just finally getting something in at least. And then you have a credible company as your sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and we've done some little things here and there. Speaking of sponsor, our new sponsor right now is Bogey Bros.
Okay.
You familiar with them guys?
Yeah, of course.
So we'll do a little ad read for them.
Yeah. No, I guess one question I have for you guys, and I know this is your podcast, but I mean, I definitely watch y'all's podcast, follow it and everything, but what is some advice you have? Because, like I said, I have a podcast, maybe only 12 episodes out, and but when acquiring or I say acquiring, but when reaching out to sponsors or finding people that align with kind of your message, your brand, what does that conversation look like?
I think it all depends on what your, what number one, what your podcast about, what's your intention, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. The fact of the matter is, I think for me, and this is me coming from the outside, and I think Dale's probably going to agree with this, is it is not easy to start a podcast to know what sponsors you're going to get without already having a defined following. So obviously Dale has a following, right?
Sure.
So there's the overlap that a sponsor could say, yeah, they're just now starting out, but we have exposure because of the personality that's on it,
Totally.
right?
So,
So if I were to suggest anybody starting out that doesn't have that reach is don't worry about sponsors. Get your content ready, make sure that, you like what you're talking about and it's something you want to do, and then it'll start growing and growing and growing, and then, build a media kit, go to a local. I mean, something local is fine because, everybody's going to start in their own hometown, right? Mm-hmm. So go get a local sponsor, somebody who's like, oh yeah, Joe, he's doing that podcast, and then he's sponsored by Jerry's Bakery, and it's like somebody's hearing this right over and over again, and then the more you go, the bigger the sponsorship deals get.
Yeah.
I mean, we've just barely scratched the surface, to be quite honest.
yeah, for me, I started like probably a year prior to me hitting Good Ranchers up. Mm-hmm. They hit me up out of the blue, wanted to send me a box and do a collab on Instagram. So when it came time to us doing that, I was thinking about all the people I've dealt with. I sent them a message. They're like, yeah, let's meet, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, here, we meet us here. I live in Texas. And like, we're in Friendswood. We're like, holy shit, we didn't know they were literally
down the street,
15 minutes from here. We went and met with them. Dude, literally, we sat down, we started talking. Golf came up. Ben, the owner, said, hey, you want to play golf on February, whatever? We're like, sure. He goes, all right, well, it's in Phoenix. We'll get y'all set up on flights and all this stuff. I mean, we played we played in that celebrity golf tournament for the Super Bowl.
Now, cool.
But it was like that, and then we worked out a deal, and then we started being sponsored by them. And otherwise, like same way I do with guests, it's just using my platform on Instagram, having a blue check and following. I'm just messaging people. And I'll
cold DMing.
I'll message companies to be like, hey man, we're looking for sponsors. Like, we're not doing this stuff like that. Or we'll send you some free stuff. I'm like, okay, good. We'll promote y'all to get some free stuff, whatever. Sure. So that's really kind of how it's happened. Luckily, like you're saying, for brands, we can say, hey, we're going to push on the podcast. Also, I'll share and do that stuff on my personal, so you get that much more reach, because it's going to benefit us because we're getting that for the podcast. And they get that extra exposure. So we were kind of lucky to have that, because if not, I mean, we don't know what that would have been like.
Yeah.
And we have the fortune. I mean, and again, it even goes beyond. That's what was hard for me to, when you talk about conceptualization, is, okay, you put something out, what's your reach? Well, you don't think about how that reaches, right? So let's say we put something out, Dale retweets something or reposts something, right?
Shares it, yeah.
Then you're going to have other people that repost it. We go, if we're with like somebody who's a semi-celebrity, and they copy us on something or tag us on something, and then they repost or whatever it is, it's like that reach just goes crazy huge, and it piles up. I mean, and I'm the analytics side of it also. Looking at some of the stuff we post, I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people that see this one clip or something else because it's been shared so many times.
Yeah, that and getting people like we got Rampage, Austin Eckler, Joe Exotic, like those kind of things. People see that and they see our reels that are funny. And I've had people like, man, I've seen y'all's reels, dude. I want to get on y'all's podcast like that. It looks like fun. I mean, that's one thing we've had, like higher level people that we've had interviews with. Mm-hmm. We try not to talk about the canned stuff they're going to get asked. Like everything's unscripted what we do. Sure. So we go down some rabbit holes, and like we've had multiple ones be like, man, that's the most fun I've had on a podcast because it's just different than their normal stuff because they're not talking about the same old shit, saying the same answer you hear on every other podcast. Sure. You listen to Joe Rogan, you hear those people and they go on another podcast, they talk about the same exact thing because that's what they do. I get it. Yeah. You want to get some of that out of them, but you want to get more to where we're trying to be a little bit different.
Yeah, and I think though, like those big podcasts, those blue chip podcasts, if you will, I think that's the place for these people to give their whole life story, modern wisdom. But it's like, and I think that could even be a strategy in itself too. Like, hey, if you're like a no-name person or not verified, or why not have a little fun with it with these guests, right? Like, why not make a clickbait podcast that has value, of course, too, but like throw the off the wall questions, and that's what back to like the Magnus thing or an editor. That's why it's so good to have an editor who's strategic and understands like, okay, I'm going to take this one question, and instead of saying the original format of storytelling, right, is like Jack went up the hill, Jack grabbed a pail of water, Jack fell tumbling after. But in modern day editing, if you want to like really get a lot of people's attention, what do? Jack fell tumbling after first. It's called nonlinear editing, and then because that's the hook that gets people intrigued, and then you can Jack went up the hill because people are already hooked. So it's like you're seeing that a lot with
where the hell's Jill?
I mean, dude.
She's like Rose. She let Jack go.
I'll never let go.
Yeah. And then she lets him go.
Yeah.
Isn't that the story of life, dude?
That's right, dude.
Gosh.
But yeah, like that's really what we've been doing. And then luckily for us, like we've met some cool people along the way. Like I've been knowing the Bogey Bro guys for 4 years. Yeah. And then we had them on the podcast. We played golf with them, but they're like John, one of the owners. He's a fan of the podcast. He listens to it, and so when we came to a point where I was like, "Hey, we're going to come back. What do y'all think about being the title sponsor of our show?" And they're like, "Man, I think that might work because y'all play golf. We're buddies. It makes sense because we're going to wear the stuff, promote it, and we're not serious about anything."
That's Vaughn's wearing the shirt. That shirt is the dude.
I got the new visor.
Man, Black Friday just happened, but geez, I wish I saw this podcast before. I would have gone on their site.
I'm not gonna lie, this is free.
Hey, yeah. But hey, speaking of Bogey Bros, right now they got their holiday sale. So if you are looking, you buy 2 polos, you get one free. Buy 2 hats, get one free. So like I said, man, these guys always got great deals, and we're proud to be linked up with these guys, and we love their stuff. Their stuff is hilarious. Like even today, I saw on their Instagram they posted. They posted a bad reviews makes great content. And the lady's like, I bought the shirt for my grandson. He wore it to school and he got suspended. I didn't realize there was a bunch of boobs on it or something like that. It's just like talk about the kind of their deal. That's their thing. It looks like a nice shirt. You get close to it and it's a bunch of eggplants on it or something like that. Or,
screw that grandma.
Yeah, I know. But it's funny. Like they have all these different bad reviews, and it's great content for them.
You can make a reel out of each bad I saw a page out there, dude, and it was similar, right? They took every bad, comment they had, a review, and they made like a reenactment of that like bad review. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's good.
It'd be like, my wife would never see me wearing this. I came home and she told me to throw it out, and it would just be like this like grotesque woman, and she's just like slobbery. It was like this stud of a guy, and it was just funny. But yeah, I mean, where are they out of? Where's
So John's in Spring.
okay?
And then Ryan's like in the Dallas-Fort Worth area up there.
Okay, so it's a Texas company.
Yep. Texas, they're local. Yeah, it kind of how it happened was that's when they posted, they were early on starting, and I've seen them on Instagram. They had a decent following, and I liked something and went and followed it. Like right after that, I think it may have been Ryan's wife. They messaged me because he's like, "Hey man, my wife, big fan of the show. Seen you liked our post, blah blah blah. Hey, we want to send you some stuff." Which that's how it works, dude. I'm gonna go if I see something I like, I'm gonna go like and follow. They always hit me back up. So
Hey, it must be nice to be y'all.
Dude, I tell you what, they'll do anything for free.
What's that shirt you wear?
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
No, that's
But like, so you
great.
got to take. I mean, that's how they get exposure. So I mean,
totally.
They got their marketing budget for their stuff. That's a part of that for all these companies. So I take full advantage of it.
dude. I mean, as you should. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think anything's wrong with it. I don't think it's taking advantage. Like, let's be honest. Like, if you have a reach, whether that was through hard work and posting every day for 100 days, or being on a national recognized TV, whatever avenue it got you to get you to where you're at, I don't think anything's wrong with that. Use your leverage and your reach,
Yeah.
especially for free, badass freaking hats and
Yeah.
polos. Jeez.
Yeah, dude, I love it.
Oh, and I've got a polo on underneath.
Well, that's what I was talking about, dude.
That's
That
the four-
polo
the four
is
one.
sick.
Polo.
I thought it was a Titleist polo, and I came closer. I was like, "Oh wow!"
I don't sponsor. Titleist doesn't sponsor me anymore. Bogey Bros took their spot.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So you were in the what were you in the Marines? What were you in?
no, yeah. So I was in the Coast Guard. I
Coast
did Coast
Guard.
Guard for 10 years.
Puddle pirate.
That's me, man.
Draft Dodgers Yacht Club.
Dude, one
Sorry, I don't think I'm in that club.
one of my good friends. He was the captain or whatever that main guy is for the Texas City one. He moved all over, but he just retired, and so we've always messed with him about it. But he was in it for 20-something years, man. I mean,
No, I mean, dude, looking back at it, if I could have done it any differently, I think I would have done how I did it. The 4 years enlisted. But I would have tried to spend the remainder of my 6 probably as like an officer. Try. I think I would have been more aggressive into going the college route to then go officer. Because, dude, the retirement as a officer compared, like,
It's huge,
dude. If you do 25 years as an E8, which is like the top, or E9 as like an enlisted person, dude, it comes out to like $2,800 a month for 25 years of your life. Now, if you were to go the captain route, the admiral route, dude, you're making, I mean, every year you're making at least like $120,000 a year salary.
Yeah.
So, and then they take like, I forget what percentage, but I mean, you're making at least $5,000 to $6,000 a month for the rest of your life. And that's not including disability.
Right.
So it's like going officer, and it's, dude, it's such a better life.
what was your job?
So I was a bosun mate. So in the Navy has bosun mates as well. But in the Navy, they're the guys who are painting the side of the ship, and they're like the grunts of the boat. To where on the Coast Guard, we still are the grunts of the boat. We still do all the painting, but we also are the only rate within the Coast Guard that can be be in command as a enlisted person. So you could have your own base in some cities as an enlisted E8, right? So I was a bosun mate. I drove small boats, worked with President Trump and the first family, both of the Biden family, Trump family, did counter-narcotic missions, all because I was a bosun mate and I got to drive boats. So it was really cool.
Yeah, that's badass.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a pretty sweet gig.
It was, man. I mean, to be what?
And the whole time you just wanted to smoke weed.
I mean, yeah. I'd be confiscating, like, dude, we would have some crazy conversations up on so the pilot house is like where the ship's wheel
Yeah,
is.
the
and all that.
wheelhouse, kinda.
Yep. And dude, you have some crazy thoughts in your head at 3 a.m. while you're staring out into the ocean in the middle of the night. Like,
Dude, that blackness would kill me.
yeah, but like, it's one of those things where everyone's like having a bad, like, you're just like, this sucks, to where you learn to enjoy it. But when you're searching for, we would call them like unicorns, right? Like, you'd be looking for these drug boats in the middle of the night. You'd have NVGs, night vision goggles, and you'd be looking for these ships or these semi-submersible ships. And, we'd be looking for them. And, dude, each bale of cocaine, now I haven't been in the game for a while, but at the time, a kilo of coke was about 20 to 40 grand, depending on the quality.
How much did it weigh?
A kilo.
A kilo.
Yeah, a kilo. But they would never come as a kilo, right? They would come in what we called bales, and it looked like a hay bale,
right?
And you'd be sitting at a couple 100,000 per bale. And I'm actually in Men's Journal for the biggest Coast Guard bust. You'll see my picture in the magazine.
Narc.
For $1 billion bust.
$1 billion bust.
1B.
You need to send that picture to us.
It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy, y'all actually found $2 billion worth.
Yeah.
Shout out to the DEA agent.
There you go.
But no, man, it was a great job to do that, and just it's crazy because I'm out now and I don't care, but like to be in it. And I remember we would roll up on ships that looked like drug smuggler boats, but everyone spoke English, and you're like, hold on, why are we giving you guys the drugs, right? Like, this doesn't make sense. Probably DEA, right, or some 3-letter agency, but that wasn't super uncommon. We'd go to El Salvador and offload all these drugs in another country, and some agency would pick them up with armed guards. So, like, it's very interesting what the media tells you or what you think happens versus what the reality of things are.
Yeah.
So you think some of these drugs that were confiscated were actually given to other countries so that they could distribute?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not.
You can say whatever you want.
So what I can tell you happens.
Oh, here we go. I love this.
So you do have facilities that do destroy the cocaine. They literally take bales and bales and incinerate it. But you have to remember, though, that when we, like I just said, $1 billion, it's still $1 billion, right? Whether it's in cash or cocaine, it's still worth
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
So do you really think that all of that gets just burned?
No. I bet it's used a lot to trade for people, for hostages.
But you know what? And from the defense of the United States government, though, look at it from this angle, right? You take that drug money, that laundered money, or you take those bales and you keep them, and then you give it to you, who's the undercover guy, we're trying to find the big kingpin, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you a bale or two because you're my undercover narc. You're going to trade it. Hey, man, I'm legitimate. Like, here, let's do this trade. So then you can, so like they definitely use that, that drug as a sense of currency and a leveraging tool. So now there's probably things behind closed doors that I wasn't even privy to. That happens, and we're all humans, and we all are selfish. And to think that there could be human error in that transaction of any sort,
identify the dealers, find suppliers.
That's it, man. So,
you think maybe we're actually sending all that money to Ukraine, or do you think we're giving them cocaine?
Oh man, don't even get me going, bro. Don't even get me going.
Why not? I think I'm ready. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
this will turn into a different podcast.
I was just saying the better question would be, why'd you get out of the Coast Guard?
Hey, yeah, why did you get out of the Coast Guard? Like the short version of it, not the extended.
Well, I wanted to do 20 years. I really did.
Okay.
Like part of me. But
you couldn't swim, could you?
I was a high school. Ask your teacher friend. I was a high school swimmer.
Did Ashton Kutcher teach you?
No, but I got motivated by that movie to want to be a rescue swimmer. As does everyone who joins the Coast Guard. But no, it was COVID time, and I was one of 80 or one of 60 guys at my unit who said, "Nah, I'm not taking that shot."
Oh, okay. Hey, I like that. Good for you.
So here I am, and life is better. So for everyone out there who's on the fence, take the jump.
Dude,
So
I don't even want to get into the COVID stuff. But,
No, we don't have to.
But
so after
that's
that,
awesome.
you've been in. You were just recently working for like what?
Yeah, so I worked for a tech company out of Spring. I don't know if I can mention the name yet, but yeah, I was working for a tech company. Did that straight out of the military because that's what every good boy does once they leave the military. Is you got to get a good job.
Yeah, you have to.
And I thought corporate America was the good thing to do, right? My parents were proud of me. My wife was proud of me. I was proud too, right? But deep down inside, I was like, dude, I don't really want to do this. I want to do my own thing. But yeah, worked in corporate America, and as of recently got laid off, which was such a godsend because I was going to quit anyway.
Yeah.
Now I get a severance.
There you go.
So yeah, I worked for a tech company doing global technology sales, selling to the financial industry. So
Okay.
JPMC, Barclays, Morgan Stanley were my clients. It was cool.
And so that's fresh though, right? Now, so now you're all in.
Yeah,
on
so I'm
TAOK.
about. Yeah, I'm
So you
about.
used to have any of the cocaine money, or
So I can't really talk too much.
okay? Yeah, I was just wondering.
You know what I will say though is I did get someone one time ask me I lived in San Francisco at the time. And I was at a Raiders game, and I'm a Raiders fan, but if any of you guys know anything about Raiders fans, dude, I was a Giants / Texans fan. Like I wasn't super faithful to any one team, but I went to a game, and I will never forget almost getting jumped by Raiders fans and like, "Hey man, like what the fuck you doing here? Blah blah blah. Like get out of here if you're not
White guys.
Are they
Yeah.
all?
And dude, I left that stadium in fear, and I went and bought a jersey the next day. I'm like, I'm a Raiders fan, dude.
Yeah?
Like, dude, yeah.
Can't
Did they
join 'em.
scared you into being a fan?
Well, I mean, I wasn't faithful to anyone, right? Like, I
Yeah.
moved around, but I was like, dude, I love
What jersey you get, Jerry Rice?
No, I got what's his name's jersey? Freaking quarterback who left. Carr, thank you. Derek Carr. And I went to a couple games, but I got propositioned by someone at a game one time. Super Hispanic, like loco dude, like super cholo looking guy, and he's like, "What you do for a living, man?" I was like, "Oh, I'm super proud, 24-year-old,
Yeah.
right? Oh, I'm in the United States Coast Guard, man. It's freaking awesome." He's like, "Oh, you go on those big white boats that go down South America? Hell yeah, man! It's freaking badass." "Hey, man, if you ever bring me back one of those keys, I'll give you $50K cash." And I'm like, "All right, man." And I remember leaving, and I'm just like, holy shit, dude! I need to probably like call someone on that. But
Was he serious?
I don't know, dude. I
Do
mean,
you not know though?
I bet he was.
I mean, $50K cash is $50K.
Yeah, 20
But
bucks. 20 bucks.
like I was saying earlier, though, right? Like when you're up, on the pilot house in the middle of the night, you get those thoughts come to your head. You're like, dude, what would I do if I had $200K cash given to me, and all I need to do was put 4 kilos in my backpack? Because they're so like we were handling on like
Yeah.
what I'm saying, it's so easy. Now I'm not condoning it, but I'm just saying, like,
the temptation.
the temptation is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
When
think
you're-
about that money, you're like, man, I could have some money out when I get out of this.
It's crazy to think. Yeah, it's crazy. And I guarantee you, like armored truck guys have the same thoughts when they're riding around those armored trucks.
Totally, dude, totally. Like there was a story when I was stationed in Miami. It was about 10, maybe 12 years ago of a non-rate who's like a brand new guy in the Coast Guard. He got on a boat, and they were doing patrols down in like the Bahamas area, and they got connected with a drug runner of some sort. And sorry.
Oh, sorry, Vaughn.
And dude, I guess long story short, the whole ship ended up getting in on it. And the only reason that they got caught, the smoking gun, was the brand new kid who showed up to base in front of headquarters, CGIS office, which is like the Coast Guard, like NCIS for the Coast Guard,
Yeah.
in like a brand new Mustang. And they're like, hold on a second, you make $40,000 a year. What are you doing in a $50,000 car?
What's a V6?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, they looked into it, and dude, the whole boat supposedly got busted.
Wow.
Crazy.
I never watched Goodfellas apparently because you're supposed. Yeah, you never go buy anything flashy. Remember Robert De Niro had like everybody whacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my 24-year-old self probably, I don't blame the kid. I probably would have done it. Dude, I mean, come on. Like I said, if you had $50,000 just come into you every patrol every 2 months, come on, bro. You'd probably do some stupid shit at 24 years old.
I had morals.
Yeah. I'm a godly man.
I'm a godly man. No, I'd have jacked as much as I could have.
Dude. I mean, you know what happens, right? Like, I don't know anyone has happened, but you know it does, right? Like, especially the Navy, dude. Like,
Oh, yeah.
those Navy people. I've heard some horror stories on those aircraft carriers.
Really?
I always hear there's so much semen on those boats.
Piles of it. No, I mean, dude, they have legit brothels.
Really?
Oh, God.
No, are you for real? You didn't know that?
I'm ready to talk about
Is
it.
it too late to enlist?
I'm in the Navy. No, yeah, there's some aircraft carriers, man, to where, yeah, like the Chiefs mess and stuff. I have a cousin who was in the Navy, and he'd tell me stories to where there was, they would coordinate certain girls with guys, and they would run it through like the Chiefs mess, which is like the room that all the Chiefs hang out in.
Okay, so they're importing somebody to the boat.
these are active duty people with active duty people.
All right. I thought there's only men on a Navy ship. They're not. Are they intertwined?
Oh, dude, it's aircraft carriers have like 40,000 people on them. It's cities.
That many?
It's like cities.
Holy cow.
Golly.
It's huge. There's like 10 level, like, yeah, and then you want to go about like crazy stuff, go on a sub. It's like 12 guys. It's like 10,000 leagues under the sea. Like,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Navy ship.
no, oh gosh. Join the Coast Guard. Join the Coast Guard.
I've been confined to a room full of 12 men, and it's not fun.
That was the first time he got pregnant.
Yeah,
I mean, the conversation was probably great leading up to it.
there wasn't much conversation. I couldn't speak.
Thank you, duct tape.
So you were already planning to go all in on your media company.
Yep.
So this kind of was a godsend to kind of
Dude, it was 100
to really kind of help kickstart that, right?
It was 100% a God thing. I mean, my wife and I were praying because, dude, I was so my company gave me 6 months paternity leave, which started my studio. And because while I was off, I had a couple of friends who had paternity leave and they just smoked weed the whole time and hung out and played video games, like as would most people.
Yeah.
Like if you had 6 month paid vacation, pretty much. And I just remember that like really sticking to me. I'm like, dude, it's kind of a shame. Like you spent 6 months and just played video games all day. I was like, dude, like I would have started a business.
I'd have played golf.
Or played golf, right? And I did play some golf. But yeah, I mean, I just took advantage to go all in on something that I already wanted to do. And yeah, it worked out. And then, but during that 6 months of pretending to be a full-time business owner, I caught the itch, and I'm like, dude, I can't see myself going back. Like, yeah. I don't even identify. It's like when I look back at my career in the military, I don't even identify with that kid anymore.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. Only 6. I was like, dude, I don't even know who you were anymore. And when I came back, I was just everything tasted, like in the sense of just everything tasted bad. Like you couldn't get me out of a funk. You couldn't double my paycheck to keep me there. Like I was all in on my business, and I saw it, saw the dream, and yeah, the Lord has been so good, man. And here I am.
So you're married. You got 2 kids, right?
3.
3 kids.
Yeah, I got 3 kids, 1 dog, 12 chickens.
No kidding.
Yeah. You guys want some fresh eggs?
I need some eggs, bro.
Yeah, I'll bring you guys some eggs.
Nothing better than some fresh eggs.
Crushed eggs.
And my wife, dude, my wife's going down the whole, like the conspiracy hole, where it's like, first you get chickens, then you do sourdough bread. Like, there's been like a progression.
Dude, Maggie's wife's about to start making bread.
Just needing bread, bro. And like this morning, she's like, "Hey, fresh loaf is out." I was like, "Yes, let's go." So, but yeah, we got we have a little ranch in our suburbia home. It's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So 3 kids, what the ages?
So the kids are 4, 3, and 11 months.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But how old are you?
You're busy.
I love my wife, man.
How old are you?
I am 31.
Okay.
Yeah, so
10 years younger than me.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're still on the fence if we want to go number 4. I mean, because,
God.
it's like, it's one of those things where it's like 3 it's awesome. I could, me personally, I could stop now and be like, man, we are living a great life. But that 4, that's like a whole nother, like, gear shift. You need a new car. You need a new home now. You need.
He's got 6.
L's in the chat.
Go for 4.
Go for 4.
And it turns out to be 5.
He went
We
4 and had
3
twins.
We had 3 and then twins.
Well, so, and you know what's crazy, man, is like that was that I always prayed for twins. I was like, I just want twins so bad. I was never a twin. I wanted to be a twin. Didn't get them. I was like, oh, hopefully we get twins and then we'll just be done. Didn't have a twin. And it's like just my luck. Like I told my wife, I was like, just our luck. Like we're going to have twins next and then we're going to have 5 kids. And I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to either have to start selling feet pics or.
Yeah.
Dude, hell yeah.
She should, anyway.
Have you guys seen that OnlyFans chick who made $46 million?
I've seen that on Instagram.
Bro.
She's just selling feet pics?
No. She's an OnlyFans chick, but
What's her
her name?
virgin? I heard.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a
yeah,
virgin too.
supposedly she's like hardcore, like legitimately. And
Can you find out who
Jamie,
this is?
pull it up, or
Yeah, Magnus.
pull it up. But no, dude, $46 million. And what's even crazier is one of the donors of her gave her $5 million. Like
Yeah.
one solo dude gave $5 million. I was talking about it with a buddy the other day. And I was like, bro, this like sick dude could have gotten a chick in a brothel every day for a whole year and probably still saved money.
Yeah.
Then I'm never going to meet you, but here's $5 million because I think you're hot.
So this guy gave her $5 million for no reason?
Well, just because he was a fan? Or?
He was a fan.
He's a probably a crypto millionaire.
What's her name?
Her name is Sophie Rain, and I don't even think it's 43 million right now, but I think it's projected to be 46 by the end of the year because that's just
Wow.
so far.
Sophie Rain. I mean,
That's more than baseball players play.
Yeah, they
So
added
they-
up
they
like
did
a
the
bunch of
stats.
NFL guys.
She made 1.6. It was
Juan Soto's about to make $51 million a year for the next 15 years.
And she made that in 1 year.
$765 million. He got that contract for. Yeah, but he'll make $51 million. She did that in a year, and she ain't playing professional sport.
they did the math. She makes more money than I forget what team. Do you know?
No, but I saw it was like Travis Kelce and
Like all the top guys.
Yeah,
like,
a bunch of guys.
she makes
Makes more than that in a year.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Crazy.
wait a second. She's on TikTok too, I think.
Oh yeah, he acts like, what's her name again? Oh yeah.
That filthy girl
Hey,
follow.
Juan's a single man, dude. He's
Dude,
out there.
she's-
He's on the prowl.
She's Christian. It says it, so she's okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, hey, honestly, it's like you don't hate the player, hate the
Yeah,
game,
I'm not
right?
mad
Like,
at it.
there's a bunch of simp dudes out there who are just like, I think you're so hot. You send me a picture that you sent to 30 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, she sent it to me personally. I think that whole market is just so warped, bro. Like that we've even gotten to this point in our civilization.
dude, I'm glad we're here.
I
Glad
mean,
we're here.
gosh, you guys all have TikTok?
Yeah.
Dude, I get the weirdest things on TikTok. Like, I get the weird. I think it was yesterday. It was like, guess how much I make working at the Bunny Ranch or something like that. I was like, I don't even watch any of this crap. Like, why am I getting this crap?
That's your
Because
algorithm.
you were talking about it with somebody and it knew it.
No, but
China
like,
got you.
Well, now you should look. Have you looked into like the whole thing on China with TikTok about how they like read your eyes and like how much you watch a video? Like,
Really?
dude, like if you watch, like they'll look at the excitement in your face on or how in depth you're watching.
They build your algorithm around
They
that.
build your algorithm around it. Like
Dude,
lately,
that's freaking
But
nuts.
yeah, if you fit the same profile as someone else, so it may not be something you've searched for, but other people who are like you watch it. So
yeah, I mean, dude, like I started watching like 2 weeks ago. It was like a live stream on like someone opening Pokemon cards. Dude, last week I bought Pokemon cards from TikTok Shop because I was watching it, got inundated with it so much. I was like, "This is kind of sick," and I was like, "Dude, this is like adult gambling,
Wait.
but like with cool cards." And,
So you bought Pokemon cards just to open them?
yeah, bro.
Dude, you're such a consumer. I love that.
Was it like an old pack? Like you bought one? that was
No,
like,
no. So
Did you videotape yourself doing it?
Did you do a rip?
I did a rip, bro. I did a rip, and I got some good cards, and that's where they get you. It's like you buy the pack, and then you get it. I was like, I texted my buddy. He's like, "Yo, are any of these good?" He's like, "Yo, those are some Chase cards." He's like, "You're on to something." And I'm like, "Amy, I think I found a new hobby."
Dude. So did you sell them?
No, I'm gonna get them graded though, for
Yeah,
sure.
That's the thing to do.
Give them my kids, right?
Baseball cards have gotten crazy
you
again.
you have 2 cards over there.
Yeah, I bought that.
PSA, you got PSA 10.
Yeah, I bought that at an auction, at a charity thing. I'm a big LSU fan, so I was like,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
I
But
saw you were at the game recently.
the LSU Bama game,
Yeah, how was that?
got our asses kicked. It was good.
It was. Yeah, I'm a LSU fan by marriage.
Yeah,
But I've always said if I go back to college, I want to be an Aggie, dude. I want that Aggie ring so bad.
really.
Oh my gosh.
You can get one.
You can get one.
I know. I might need to go on like Etsy, right? Like I heard.
Oh, dude, you can go.
I wear the University of Phoenix socks. Everybody, you pull your pants leg up,
People
you're
are
in.
like, "Thank you
Yeah.
for your service."
you're in. Yeah,
Got a PhD from there. If you don't believe me, prove it.
Well, dude, that was another thing that blew my mind with going into corporate America was I took some college at University of Arizona and Arizona State, sorry, and I put that on my LinkedIn and stuff, but I only did a year. I'm like, oh, I'm expected to graduate by 2026 because that was how my progression worked. But I was working with people who went to Ohio State, went to, different Ohio State, a bunch of high-level schools in corporate, and I'm over here, no college degree, just years in the military, equivalent with these guys, and I was outpacing some of them. I'm like, dude, do you really need a college degree to be like I don't think you do.
It's on the person, man.
If you're a doctor, of
I
course.
didn't go to college. Like I just got lucky, worked my ass off, put myself in positions to get where I'm at.
Sure.
Really, that's what it was.
Well, I think that like some of those skills are actually way more applicable than a college degree, right? Like if you can have a conversation with the person, if you can network, if you can be like, oh, hey, I really like your shoe. Even like, I really like your shoes. A lot of people don't even know even how, like, he's going to judge me if I say I like your shoe. Like,
Do you actually like my shoes?
I do.
Thank you.
Are
They make those.
sponsored?
They make those for men.
Yeah,
Are they on clouds or what?
they are.
That's the Roger Federer's.
The Roger Federers.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been telling my wife I need a new pair of like fancy casual nice
Dude, I think
Oh
you should get you some
no,
Roger Federer.
I know which one you should get.
Kizicks.
Yeah?
No, Oliver Cabell.
You guys have a code for
Oh,
that? or
I
what?
saw that.
They got a pair I'm
I've
looking
seen
at right now.
those.
They got a pair of like, dude, my every social media site, those ads pop up because I was looking at some. I almost pulled the trigger,
What are
but
they like $100? 100?
no, they're like 180.
You got a code for them or no?
No, they had a big sale. That's what I was looking at when they had the sale.
Give him a couple hours. He'll get a code.
Yeah.
I did message
Hey
them.
guys, I'm a huge fan of
See,
the.
I did.
I did message them.
You are such a dog, dude.
He also messaged. Was it Wolf and Shepherd?
Wolf and Shepherd sent me a free pair of $200 shoes.
I'm about to start saying, hey, I really want these shoes. Dale, you think you can?
Hey, I got a few buddies that text me before they buy anything. Hey, you have a code here. Like they do. Like some of my good friends. Because I've had other buddies that bought stuff. I'm like, dude, why don't you tell me how to code to that? Like I have to
Yeah.
code all
So how does that work? Do you have like a Google Doc of like all your codes? You're like,
No,
hold
most
on
of-
one
most of-
second.
Most of them are the same.
Most of them are Uncle Dale or
Oh,
Dale
okay.
something. And
like
so
ours are always D&D Pod or
But I always look back
Okay.
in my text messages because I'll have people text me. But there's been times my buddy's like, dude, you got to go to this place? I'm like, no, but give me a minute. And I'll go to their Instagram. I'll send them a message. And then they usually send me a code. Like, we'll send you some free stuff. Like,
How cool.
yeah.
What's the best code you got? Or like holiday season's around the corner, so like, what's like one of your favorite companies that you've worked with that you have a code that you'd be like, oh, if I need to buy a gift, I'm going to go with this company.
It's definitely Bogey Bros.
Bogey Bros.
Bogey
Yeah.
Bros? Yeah.
I mean, for our friend group, most of our friends play golf.
Sure.
So why not get them some nice stuff that's like,
Totally.
especially if you're our age, that's like, hey, man, it ain't that serious. You like something, especially you got somebody like something kind of loud or something that's like a nice fitting, but their hats are great. But Yeah, Bogey Bros, we definitely pitched in, but there's been all kind of companies, man. It's all over the map.
I need to put my brother in contact with Bogey Bros because he does a golf tournament for his college every year, and dude, they wear the most outlandish outfits.
Really?
Like banana shirt, like just crazy shirts. But by the sounds of it, it's like that would be.
I did that one. They have like they do a master shirt every year with the azaleas.
Ooh.
And so like one year, me and my buddies played in the tournament, and my buddy bought us. He got my dude from Bogey Bros, and he gave him a discount. He bought 4 shirts and 4 of the hats that we all wore. And dude, like, we were the talk of the tournament. We ended up winning the tournament. I think I got like close to the pin. A guy in our group got longest drive. Like, we like kind of swept the thing. And like during the because we were like the only ones all matching. So people were like, everybody rode by.
Bags over in the matching clothes.
Everybody said something about it. But like I said, that's how their stuff is. It looks good, and people enjoy it. And
I mean, that loud stuff works, man. Like, the biggest problem I have with like the super loud outfits is matching, like shoes with them or like pants.
Yeah,
that's my only issue.
Look, the thing about Bogey Bros stuff, it's not loud. It's real subtle.
You can get it as subtle, or I mean, there's some that can be loud if you want it.
Yeah, but it's real. More so, what I wear of them is the subtle stuff to where like, you get up close, you're like, oh.
I'm not a real bright, flashy guy.
Hey, I've got a new red polo from them. Looks great,
like battle red,
like
color?
like tiger red, and you get up close to it, and it just says 69 all over it. But it's just real close. You get up close, you're like, oh,
it's like the Conor McGregor.
It's all yeah. But it's all different shapes and sizes of 69. But it looks like a red polo like Tiger would wear.
Wow.
And nobody gets mad if you start 69 on the first tee either. Shirt on.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I need to check them out, man. I got to check out Bogey Bros.
Yeah, they got great hats. But
how's their content? They got like
their content's good, man.
Sick.
They do some cool stuff. Yeah,
that's a big thing I've been seeing, man. Like with like a lot of these golf brands. Like, did you guys watch that? Were you guys following like the Bryson series of like him trying to get a hole in one?
Trying to get a hole in one over his house.
Yeah, dude. Like that's I love watching golf content.
Dude, he was getting crazy views.
Oh my gosh!
Like, but I seen the thing the other day. I don't know if it's true or not. They said that President Trump's going to let him do that over the White House. Do a series hitting over the White House, which that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be wild. That would break the internet.
Yeah.
That would break the internet.
I read that. I don't know if it's true, but there's probably. I mean, they just did that Breaking 50 together, so I bet
I could see it happening.
If anybody's going to do it, Trump, a big golfer, he would.
Yeah.
He would allow that.
Yeah, that would be remarkable, dude. So when Trump played, when I was in the Coast Guard, I missed it by maybe 4 months when I got to that unit. But when I was stationed in Miami, when we used to work with the Trump family, during Thanksgiving every year, he would come out to the base and like serve turkey, and the whole first family would to the Coasties.
Yeah.
And every year he would let us go play at Mar-a-Lago. Like I got to go play in the Trump National in Doral. Mm-hmm. I got to pay. It was $50 every time I played, and it was just like a deal we had. But he played with my unit, and we have a big picture. We had a big picture of it at the unit. But I'll never forget a story that my buddy told me. He's like, "Dude, yeah, we were playing with Trump, and he's like, this guy." Trump was like, yeah, this guy keeps wanting, in the whole Trump, he's like, oh, yeah, this guy, he keeps trying to get a picture with me and wants me to play with him. I told him I'd rather hang out with you guys. Well, turns out the dude behind him was Tillman Fertitta.
Oh, gosh.
No way.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Crazy. So.
Oh, Fertitta.
That's crazy.
That dude's mega rich.
But like, how crazy is that, right? To where like you just like
one of those frees.
Yeah, have one, man. 12 milligrams.
So what are your hobbies outside of what you do with the media stuff, man? What do you kind of get into? I know you heard you play some golf, but like
dude, that's been like the craziest thing I feel like lately. I kind of had like a come to Jesus moment not too long ago. I was like, bro, I don't have any hobbies anymore. Like I used to love, videography and stuff was my hobby. But now it's like I got kids. I play, I'll play video games with my brother and stuff. But like, I'm a lot of the stuff I do, man, now is just hang out with my family, hang out with my brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws and family, play golf whenever I can, work.
We need to get a golf round together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, we can bring Sophie Rain.
She'll pay.
I played not too long ago with a buddy of mine. It was a Instagram influencer coach.
Yeah, I saw that on your
And,
Instagram.
Dude, I played fantastically. And to be honest with you, I didn't play in probably 4 months before that. And I was super nervous because I knew he works with a lot of golf brands and stuff that doing like e-com. I was like, bro, this guy lives in Phoenix. He plays year round. Like, he's kind of good. Well, if you're watching this, I did beat him. But
Attaboy.
yeah.
not by much. Not by much. I think I shot like a 90, 96. Like, it was not good.
That's
Like,
not
horrible.
good.
Horrible.
So he's really bad.
No. Dude, he's actually a really good
But that's
golfer.
the first time you're playing South Shore. South Shore's a tough course.
It's a very tough course.
You got to
And
place the ball there.
The day when we played, it was super windy. And I mean, dude, I got to give it to him. Playing in Phoenix is, you guys.
We did it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's significantly different than playing.
Dude, I just played in the golf tournament Monday with freaking Vince Young, dude.
I was going to ask you about that.
That was
How was that?
dude. He's
He's a tall dude, huh?
He's tall, and he was super cool, man. It was good.
So what was the story on it? Like, how did you get invited?
So Steve Springer, my buddy, that's the Houston suit guy.
Okay.
Man, we've talked for years. He hit me up through Instagram. He makes like custom suits. He's a part of the Republic Boot Company that does the custom boots, and he does all this stuff. And he would hit me up. He hit me up years ago wanting to make me a custom blazer. I never took him up on it. Fast forward a couple years, we stayed in touch, and we were doing a fashion show for my sister-in-law's deal.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, we need some jackets. Me and Bond are doing it, and so he hooked me and Bond up. Me and Bond went to him. We did the fitting with us, and he hooked us up with 2 freaking custom blazers, and the inside's got our podcast logo all in them.
Wow, what a guy,
And
dude.
they're sick, man. So that's how I got connected with him. Finally met me and him. We've kept up. We talk every once in a while. We'll call or text. And then past that, he's made us another blazer for the next year. We did a fast show again. He made us another one for that one. But he's been connected to Vince. He told me for about 10 years making
Wow.
Vince's stuff. And so yeah, he called me a couple weeks ago. He was like, "Hey, I got a golf tournament coming up, St. Jude's. You want to come play?" I'm like, "Yeah, I should be able to do it." He's like, "Vince will be playing with us." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in, bro. Like, I'll make that work."
The schedule's clear for the day.
Yeah, and dude, he was as good as gold, man. Like I tell people, like we chatted before in the carts before we played, but then like literally first hole in, dude, I played really well that day. I was the A player of our team, which is always fun because going in, I didn't know if I was going to be. I didn't know how these guys were, but you want to play well, especially you got a guy like that with
totally.
you. But like first hole in, you hitting good shots, and Vince is like, "Hey man, good shot, Dale." Like he's saying your name and like fist bumping you and stuff like that. So it shows what kind of guy
Thanks,
he
Vince.
is.
Yeah.
He knows your name. Like he recalls.
Colt McCoy wouldn't say that.
He knows my name.
Like he recalls your name. Like it's a big.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a big deal. You know.
Yeah.
And like that, I had his number. Like I texted him later that day. I said, "Hey man."
You should come on the pod.
Yeah, well, I'm going to work on that. But I just texted him, "Hey man, had fun. So let me know if you ever need a ringer." Blah blah. He's like, "Oh yeah, let me know, dude. If you ever need me for something, let me know. I'll come play." So
Where does he play? Where does he live?
he lives in Katy,
Really?
but he still works for UT. He does like
Yeah.
player development, something like that.
I think it's player development, like kind of recruiting.
Yeah,
too.
Wow.
he helps with that, and so I know because I was asking about McConaughey. I was asking about how McConaughey is. He's like, dude, he's cool as hell. And
Oh, I bet.
he was talking about what he's doing for the university and how much like he's like, dude, the money there is just crazy. Like,
I wonder how the money correlates in regards to like A&M, dude, because A&M.
UT's probably got bigger pockets.
You think so?
Them two probably they're up there for the top.
I think UT's probably got louder pockets, like named pockets, but you got to think A&M's got a bunch of oil billionaires
Yeah. No,
that are sitting in Montana that you have no clue who they are.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I remember
They
hearing.
both are doing well. with
Yeah.
their boosters.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they paid what 60-something million to buy out Jimbo.
Yeah.
I mean that whole stadium was paid in cash from the A&M Association, and it was over $1 billion, right? And I don't remember who the source was. It was a friend or a family member, but that told me this. But most of they were saying how the 3 biggest organizations in the United States who have the most influence were It was the Mormon Church. It was Texas A&M, and I forget who the other one was. And reason being, because if you think about it, like think about all the scientists, think about all the engineers, think about all the people that went to A&M that worked for NASA, that worked for the NSA, all these different agencies. They have a lot of pull. And that Mormon Church, man.
Dude, we talked about it on the last podcast.
I know. I listened to it.
Dude, I bought some magical garments.
I was gonna say, dude, I almost brought him a pair of like freaking tidy. They look like Under Armour tidy whitey. Like
They look great.
Dude, they. I mean, honestly,
They are the wildest.
they
thing.
protect your. They do very good with your
Magical
junk.
things, bro.
Yeah.
Magical things.
That was funny. I had no idea. That was enlightening.
Did you know that like when I was in the Coast Guard, I learned this that in Mexico there's a huge Mormon population,
Dude.
and they are like armed Mormons. Like they have like a compound to where supposedly the cartel doesn't even mess with them.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I hung out with a Mormon one time and almost caught it.
Really?
Got
yeah,
it.
his stuff's contagious.
Didn't they go? I saw a documentary about that. They moved to Mexico because they could do polygamy there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wild. That's not a cup of tea I drink.
Do you think polygamy is probably one of those like man's dreams that nobody talks about? Like,
Dude,
do you ever think
You got
about
one
that?
that's crazy. I couldn't imagine having multiple.
You can cut them off though. If you got 5, it's easier to cut one off.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe some guys' dreams, but it's like if you think about it though, like I've always made the joke to where you hear people of having like open marriages, and I'm like, dude, the only person who wins in that is the female. Like, if a girl were to be like, hey, like, I think you're attractive. Do you want to hook up? A single dude's gonna be like, hell yeah. Not 8 out of 10 times to where if a single guy were to go and be like, hey, I think you're really hot, you want to hook up, the girl's gonna be like, ew, no. Like more times than none.
Yeah.
So like a girl gets it way better in an open
They
relationship.
control it.
Dude. So maybe in a polygamy, when you got God involved and all that, maybe it'd be more ideal.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've been real busy lately, so I haven't been able to find out. But like, I totally would.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna auction off Vaughn.
What's the going bid?
Well, Magnus put up 20,
Okay.
so started there.
You put up $20?
Yeah, you want to see what you got there?
I'm trying to think, dude. I pay my babysitter $50. I'll give you $60.
Yeah,
$60? $60. All right, now we're already up to $60.
Hey, man. I mean, this chat. I mean, you guys put this on YouTube or what?
oh yeah.
Dude, I mean, the YouTube
Put in the
chats are
comments.
crazy. How much would you pay for an hour of your time with the one and only Mr. Vaughn?
Dude, I honestly,
You're a good catch, man.
depending on what I'm paid, I'll go anywhere from just watching a movie to twerking. I don't really care.
I had a buddy put a survey on Facebook, and he was like, "Hey, I will be like, you can rent me as your boyfriend to come to your Thanksgiving dinners, and I can either be like super political or like anti-political, and just be like the simp. Like you can rent me, and if you want like
I
a
can piss
super
people off if you want.
I got this crazy uncle dude. All he talks about is Trump. I got you. So I'm a big Biden fan.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
You can have some fun with that.
I can be a
There's
doctor
business
or an
in that,
astronaut.
dude. There's a business in that.
There is. I'm telling you, there are people out there who don't want a relationship, but they want somebody to be with them, so everybody thinks about them in a relationship. Like it's almost like guys get hookers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's also some guys that they will rent companionship to go to like a company Christmas party and introduce them. Oh, this is my girlfriend.
Vaughn just did that.
There's a country that does that too. It's called Thailand.
Dude, luckily I know enough women that would go to a Christmas party with me, and I wouldn't have to pay them.
Allegedly.
That's commendable.
Not with money.
With sexual favors.
So the TAOK.
Yeah.
What's the dream? Like, what's the 5-year plan for that right now? You think?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Have you thought that far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, totally, man. Dude, I'm really big on like, gratitude journals, affirmations, thinking in the future, like trying to put my eggs where they need to be, especially after this year of, I wouldn't say it's a failed studio run, but I think I bit off more than I could chew earlier with that, and I think I'm just downsizing. And I partnered with a really fantastic girl in the area. Her name's Jess Clemens, and she actually does Vaughn Realty's.
Yeah, I met her at your shop.
Yeah, you met Jess. So her and I are going to be partnering, and we're probably going to create a DBA. So TAOK is just going to be essentially part of my holding company.
The umbrella, yeah.
Yeah, and we're really just going after high-ticket businesses, more right now in the medical space. We have chiropractors, we have plastic surgeons, dentists, and...
Dude, get those ASMR videos from your chiropractors. Those things blow up.
Oh, dude,
I love watching those.
I do too.
I was telling my chiro client, Dr. Gabor, I was like, man, we need to get some, like, I'm a crackhead. Like, I love watching those videos. Like, love
I thought it was weed and coke.
No, crack. Like, no.
Okay.
But no, it's called, like, yeah, like, but I love those videos. And he's like, dude, I do more spinal decompression. I'm like, bro, like,
A ring dinger.
I'm a huge fan of those videos. I'll sit there and religiously watch them. But, yeah, so we're trying to really scale together, man. And
What's the DBA gonna be called?
you know, we're in talks still. It's hard, man, when you're working with a chick, right? Like a guy, it could be like Nuts and Butts Incorporated, right? Like
Great name.
right? But with a chick, it's like, I don't know.
It's gonna be our new DBA.
But I
That's
mean,
on Magnus's cards.
damn it, Magnus. But no, I don't know in the sense, like, right now, I don't know if we want to go more of like going towards maybe trying to get like an acquisition one day, or right now we're really big on just building systems and processes because
Then you can scale it.
well, that's what you could sell in a marketing business. You know, you can't necessarily always sell, you know, your clients, but you know, a lot of these, you know, companies or other marketing companies will buy your systems and how you do things and integrate it into theirs. So I would say, you know, in the next 5 years, we want to, I mean, within the next year and a half, I'd like to be at quarter, if not $500,000 in reoccurring revenue. Now, obviously, you have, like right now, we have four employees, so it's not like I'm making that kind of money.
Yeah.
But for us to get to where we want to go, I would say we need to be around the $250,000 to $500,000 mark in the next couple years. And dude, in 5 years, man, I'd like to be chilling still at a half, if not 3/4, and really just scaling it, man. Maybe working with some companies not local to this area, because as we talked about earlier, like it's very hard to sell high ticket services to businesses that just don't see the value in that.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but yeah, we've teetered with other businesses like roofing companies, construction companies. But me, I'm like, man, I understand the medical. You know, Jess she was a nurse for 10 years.
Okay.
I was in the life-saving service for 10 years dealing. So I can understand that niche a lot more than most. And personal coaches are kind of hard. And just some of the other niches just aren't, like blue collar businesses aren't really my thing. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. I really want, I would say my goal right now is really just to continue just owning my craft, getting better at it, growing my team, growing my book of business, and all while learning how to just be a good dad, dude.
Yeah.
Being a good dad and a good husband, all while doing all this full time. So yeah, I mean, 5-year plan, hopefully maybe one more child. And
Yeah, I hope you have twins.
oh gosh, we're gonna have to clip this if that happens. But
And then you'll have to snip that.
yeah. Oh well, that's already that's already gonna happen. I already told my wife. I was like, that's gonna happen.
Dylan, I'll do it for you.
Where's the scissors?
Hey, you know what we should do? We haven't did this since we came back. It's been a while. We should do the doppelganger.
Doppelganger. Let's do
So
it.
we did early on the podcast. We would always like be involved in doppelgangers.
Yeah.
We would ask our guests like, "Hey, who is somebody you get told you look like?" And then I'm gonna take a picture. We have this app called Star by Face.
Yeah.
That we do that. It's always some funny stuff.
Dude, I got someone doppelganged me the other day, but it wasn't a celebrity. It was just some dude. And I was like, I don't know if I like that or not.
Put your hat up.
Here we go, hon.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally.
Man, I've been told back when I was probably 20 pounds skinnier, I got told, mild versions of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
Back, probably when he was more in like The Wolf of Wall Street or some of his older, heavier films when he had more of the round face. But,
Dude, you hang out with a lot of liars.
dude. Well, that's the thing. I think Leonardo DiCaprio I was like, man, he's a good looking dude.
Dude, I would sleep with either you or him. I get that, but y'all don't look alike.
No, I do. I don't know, man. Like, top of the cuff. I don't know who I've been told I look like.
I'm thinking in my mind. Magnus has probably got somebody.
Who you got, Magnus?
Aaron Paul, dude, you've already been talking about drug dealing.
Aaron Paul. Oh my gosh, from
Jesse
Breaking
Pinkman.
Bad.
Yeah.
Dude, you kind of look like Jake Paul.
I mean,
That's not a dig.
you should see my
Oh,
brother looks like
your
Jake
eyes
Paul.
are closed in the picture, so I wouldn't recognize.
That's what's the app called?
So I use this one called Star by Face.
Star by
That's
Face.
just one I found one day.
Yeah, and it's AI, or like what? It just like takes it and.
I think it's dial up.
Who's y'all's doppelganger?
Dude, I've got it.
Did we ever do one for? I don't think you and I ever did one.
Dude, I've got. Dude, when I was a little heavier, I got Blake Shelton a lot.
Really?
And then it's like the newest one I've been getting, which I'm not mad at, since I've lost weight, was Glenn Powell, the Twisters guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can kind of see that.
That's the newer one I've been getting from. I've had that. I've been told that 6 times. Like the girl, my friend Stacy, that cuts hair at my heist.
Yeah.
She told me that one day, and then I've heard it multiple times from other people because I was like, and that was kind of how that's been the latest one that I've.
This is. I'll show you guys the picture of this dude. Like literally 2 days ago, I was like, dude, this is you. It's this guy.
I mean, she's got long hair, but you kind of look like her.
But supposedly that kind of looks like me.
I mean, I can see the facial structures for sure. That does kind of look like you.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, dude, if you have a beard, you wear a hat, and you wear glasses, you look like everybody who's even close.
I look like a suburban white dude who works. Yeah, just,
Dude, every time I take a picture, your eyes are closed.
All right, hold
Are
on.
you high right now?
No,
Let's try
man.
one more time. Keep your eyes open, dude. All right.
I just looked up Dale, and he got Thomas Jane. I could kind of see it.
Dude, you know
That's been in there.
Who's Thomas
That's been on
Jane?
that app.
That's the
was
original
Punisher.
Punisher.
That was a great movie.
The good Punisher.
Dude, did you guys watch the Punisher, the new one with what's the guy's name? He was in the movie with
Talking about the Walking Dead dude.
I know who
Yeah.
I know who he looked like. It
Who?
just came to me.
who?
Chet Hanks.
I can see
Tom
that.
Hanks' son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met him.
Yeah, are you
Really?
completely
You look
covered
like
in
Chet-
tattoos?
you look like
just can't
Chet
see it?
I
Hanks.
have tattoos, yeah. Chet, I gotta look him up real quick just for.
He's dreamy, dude.
Hey, is that anchor? Does that mean something? Whenever you like cross,
so I have military tattoos for like when I did cross the international date line, but all these were done in different countries.
So I got to find a picture online
So
because these are not
this
working.
one was done at right down the road actually in Kemah at Monumental Ink.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cali, and but that was Peru. This was
Djibouti.
Djibouti, Panama, and this one was a homemade tattoo. So I got into tattooing. I traded a tattoo gun for a fillet of steak. I was 17 years
Hold
old.
on, you gave somebody a fillet of steak and they gave you a tattoo gun?
Yeah. So I worked in a ministry, man. So, and crazy story, right? I worked in a ministry and I always wanted a tattoo. And I was like,
finally, Aaron Paul came up,
that's funny. I'll take it. I will take that.
and then your 36% match for Neil Marshall.
Dude, I am balding, so I will take that
Let's
one.
see what else we got.
Chet Hanks, man. I'm telling you.
Chris Hardwick, I kind of see that. Remember
Who's
Chris
that?
Hardwick, the guy that used to do Singled Out?
I mean, that guy's way too good looking. Let's see, Chet. I'm gonna look up Chet Hanks real quick.
Hey, you got Zelensky too, dude.
Dude. Okay, I could kind of see Chet
Magnus
Hanks.
is creep shotting me over here. Dude. It's gonna come.
Dude, Chet
you're too
Hanks
far
lost a
away.
lot of weight.
Dude,
Dude,
I don't
he
know
used
who
to be
this
kind of a
guy is.
heavier guy.
I don't
was
know.
a little bit.
I don't know who
Yeah.
Joe Carnahan is, but I see that.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Carnahan.
Resembling.
I think he was in Dr. Quinn, the Medicine Woman.
Seriously?
No. No. Not, maybe.
Dude, I just looked up Vaughn and got Dane Cook.
I
could
that.
see that.
See, I get that a lot. And I
From
yeah,
the side profile, for
I
sure.
do. Yeah, I get that a lot. I also get told a lot that Dale and I look like each other, but we also look like Dane Cook could be like the third.
Really?
Yeah.
After the work, before the work, he had a lot of work done.
Dude, I'll tell you what, his last stand up, I just thought it was
Man,
awful,
he's falling off hard.
I mean, he's in his backyard. I just
Dude, the one thing I heard about
wasn't
the other
on it.
comedians is like they were like all the comedians that came up with him, like they all had kids and like their progression of like their fans growing up with them, they had stuff to talk about the kids. He never had kids, so they like he doesn't have that
Going for it.
experiences in life that they have. Like so, like your fans that grew up with you. He like Bert Kreischer's great because he talks about his daughters, and it's so funny, like the story because you can relate as a dad and stuff like that. So that's one thing I've heard. I think maybe Rogan or somebody talked about that. They're like, man, with him not having kids, and
You become unrelatable.
your group that grows up with you had kids, and they have all these things that they can relate to. They all have crazy kid stories and just
Wow.
parents, like being a parent.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, there's a lot of comedy in just that alone, too, right?
Yeah.
Just being a parent. Like,
Anthony Jeselnik doesn't have any kids, but he talks about them a lot.
Oh yeah, he's just so dark. That's just great.
I mean, so are you guys trying to get more comedians, do you think? Because I think you guys have had quite a bit of comedians on your show, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any push to
Man,
get
we-
more, but I think there's a push
Yeah.
to just get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have anybody like. That's the one thing people ask, like, what's y'all's podcast about? I'm like,
Y'all's niche.
I'm like, dude, it's an unscripted deal. Like, it's hard to like.
If there was a genre, we'd fall in random.
Yeah,
Comedy random.
Well, and I've even been shifting my show, right? It was, dude, I want that job. And it was any cool and interesting job. Like, I wanted a garbage man for the
I
longest.
was just about to say I want a garbage
Dude,
man.
if you find one,
You want a double team of garbage man? with us?
dude,
whoa.
pause. Yes. But no, dude, I've always wanted a garbage man, bro. Like, especially in New York one, you know, they see the grimy, the rats, they see everything, and
Yeah.
they get paid fairly
Dude,
well.
Yeah, they do.
I just had an awesome caddy at Lochinvar.
Of course you played there.
This guy caddies like in Chicago, and then during
Really?
the cold months he comes down here. He goes to Florida. His name's Pharaoh, dude. Awesome dude. Had a great round with him, and he comes down to Galveston quite a bit. So I was like, hey, we're gonna get him on because
Yeah.
one, he's got a bunch of stories. You can
Bogey
imagine.
Bros,
Yeah.
perfect alignment.
We'll get him hooked up some Bogey Bro gear to wear on the
Yeah.
course. But like I said, that'd be cool because you could hear some crazy stories.
I bet.
Because he like Lochinvar, he said he does other all men courses
I
up
wonder
north.
if he's like under NDA, considering the course.
Say no names, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, we'll make him sign a disclosure agreement.
Sure.
Yeah, so that counteracts the NDA.
Yeah.
Hey, for you to come on our show,
can't triple stamp a double
Yeah, I
stamp.
can't do that.
what are you guys? What are y'all looking forward to for Christmas time? You guys staying local, or what are y'all doing?
Yeah, I'll say we'll stay in here. We went to Louisiana last year. This year we're staying here.
Yeah.
So it's easy, man.
I love it.
I think I'm gonna go skiing for
Really?
a couple days.
Where are you going?
Either Utah or Denver. Depends on which the group of folks I'm going with.
If you go to Utah, I mean, I'm going to Park City in February. So.
I've been to Park City.
I've heard it's all- I've never been.
Skied. Yeah, no, Park City's awesome. Yeah, no, it's really cool.
We've only skied one time. That was in Jackson Hole, which was
Yeah,
that was cool. We went there for the show, so it was like
I've cross
really
country
nice.
skied. My uncle was an Olympic ski coach at Lake Placid. That's where he's from. But I've never skied. I was always a snowboarder.
got to watch for gators there.
Yeah, right, dude.
dude, I'm telling you, did they ever catch
They
me?
made a documentary about it.
you know, I still think of that movie every time I go in. Like
So he was the actor's name is Oliver Platt.
okay.
The job he did in that movie made him one of he really stood out to me, dude. That was a really good movie.
I like that movie.
It was.
I mean, it's plausible that it's true.
well, have you seen the crocodiles in Lake Conroe? Or alligators in Lake Conroe?
Oh no,
Dude, like
I'm
a
there
couple
a lot.
years ago,
Watching
there was
monsters.
like a 12 to 15 foot alligator.
I'd fight that one. 16 foot's too much.
When I lived in Miami, bro, we saw them all the time, and I still I get so you don't know what is under, like, especially in some of that murky water, you have no idea what's under.
Yeah, those and they're dinosaurs too. Legitimately,
They are dinosaurs.
So what's your pitch? Just go back to your business. Like,
Yeah,
what's
of
your
course.
pitch for somebody that comes in and be like, I want to start a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do? Obviously, you've got some on board.
Yeah.
So how do you get them started? Like, for people out there listening, like, hey, I want to start a podcast, and hey, if you're in this area, go see Kyle.
Yeah. So
like, how do you do that?
Well, first off, like I said, we're moving, so we're not going to be at the location we're at, but we're still going to be doing podcasting. But if, yes, you are interested in podcasting, I would say what I do with everyone, right, is first like a discovery call or like a consultation. Hey, come by the studio, see if we're even a good fit for you, and kind of pitch me your ideas I can kind of tell you, like, that's a good idea, or like, hey, maybe you should just buy some equipment and do it at your house yourself. Because, like I said, it is a time investment, and I don't want anyone to get into something that they're not completely understanding of, like, what it's really going to take. And I don't want to work with people who aren't serious about it either, right? Because it is, you got to go all in to some extent. But I would say that to that individual who's like, man, I really want to start a podcast, dude, reach out to me. Let's connect. I would love to hear your ideas. And then with that, let's kind of brainstorm, what is your podcast going to be essentially around? Now, like this show, you can go 100 million different ways in one episode with one person,
no doubt.
but at least have like your core values or like your pillars. And then one thing I really always tell people is, especially if you have like a co-host situation, you got to have that hard conversation early with them of like, hey, let's just say we start making money, right? Like we start getting sponsors. Let's have that conversation before we have sponsors of like, what do we do if we break up? What do we do if this doesn't work out? What do we do if we start making real money? Like, how are we going to structure it? Like, ask the really awkward questions first so they're out of the way.
Yeah.
And then, from there, like, once the air is cleared, then you can kind of really get creative with it. And I would say, kind of like what you guys were saying earlier, just start. Just start, figure out if it's for you. Record a couple episodes before you even post them.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
No,
and
hell no, we fired it up.
and nothing, but the problem with that though is like then you're working week after week, like and say your editor doesn't do something, or like say, we edit your podcast, we give it to you, and you're like, oh my God, I hated the way my chin looked in that. Well, I can't edit out your chin. Like,
Yeah.
Are we going to scrap the episode then? Like, what are we going to do? So, that's why it's good to have.
So you're suggesting get a backlog.
Yeah, batch
Okay.
your content to see if this is something you're really even interested in, and then while you batch your content, 3, 4, 5 weeks or episodes, that's where you should be really marketing your podcast. That should be the time that you're really trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to go with it in this direction to do that, and then launch. So,
or maybe even audio only to start.
Yeah, or audio, right? I mean, everything's going to a video medium first,
Yeah.
but like, let's be honest, like that's a whole nother game in itself. I would say start with the audio, and dude, I started my first podcast was on Zoom with my guests, and
Yeah.
I would just screen record it and edit all the boxes, right? So it's like you don't need to spend a lot of money on
So
it.
now they have Riverside. We use.
They have Riverside, which is fantastic. So there's so many different options out there, man. But if podcasting is really what you want to do, give me a call. I'd love to at least sit down and be a voice of reason for you and be your biggest encourager in your corner, because I think that it is such a fantastic tool. And I tell this to all my clients. I'm like, hey, you really should start a podcast. Like, I don't want to do a podcast. I'm like, yeah, but like, look at it from like a content perspective. I have to go to a shoot with you every month for like 2 hours. If you have someone really interesting on your show, or if you just have a bunch of ideas, you can come on a podcast, even if it's a fake podcast, you never really post it, and you just talk in front of a camera, that could be 20. Like, Magnus, how many clips could you realistically make off of this episode right now?
I've counted about 5.
There's 5 reels that I've counted already that I'll probably use.
But I mean, but that's like quality ones. But there could probably be 10 to 15 of like sound bites or little things. So like, it's a great way to repurpose.
It's all to get them to go watch the show.
Yeah,
you want to get those little things.
Yeah, so I mean, that would be my advice, man. Is just first take the first step.
So how do they find you?
Find me on TAOK at TAOK Visuals. Same handle for everything, or www.taokvisuals.com. Yeah, and if you're a podcaster, if you're a medical professional looking for more of like a, I guess like a fractional CMO or content strategist, give me a shout. We'd love to help you out. And yeah,
that's cool. No, like I said,
Fun fact.
Let's hear it.
Less than 7% of all podcasts make more than 100 episodes.
Yeah, and it was like I did know that, and it was
this is episode 102.
Really?
Yeah, call us.
We're the 93%ers.
Over 7%ers.
Well, dude, it's like
That's the name of the episode.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, dude, it was
8%.
like 96% never make it past, or 96 or 7 don't even make it past episode 4 or 5.
It's something crazy like that.
It's wild.
When we started early, like we had a good spike, obviously.
Yeah.
And we taper off. We have something spike it up, and then we, Vaughn was kind of looking at the analytics. He was kind of worried about. I'm like, dude, only thing we can do, keep at it weekly, be consistent, and let's just see what happens. That's really, it's like same thing Gary Vee said. Hey man, just start it and be consistent. You'll gain your following along the way.
It's gonna have to grow.
It's been a year and a half since I looked at any sort of analytics.
Yeah, I'm saying early on you were like that.
No,
I
100%.
I said don't stress about that. Let's just
what
do
are
our
like
thing.
typical analytics for like a show, like for y'all? Like, do you guys get more downloads or more views, or like where do you guys see the most traction?
So we see a lot from. It's hard to see exactly the true analytics. I feel
Sure.
Yeah, it is.
because you got to go somewhere for Spotify. We got a Spotify one.
Anchor.
You go to Apple, and then you like the one I use for PodServe that hosts our website, our podcast. Where I put it on there, and it puts it on all the mediums except for YouTube.
Yeah.
That reads all the data except for Spotify. You got to get that separate.
Okay.
And you add those up. Then we look at our YouTube views. So from there, I kind of round about a number, like when we make a media kit, saying, "Hey, this is our average views, average whatever."
Look up the application Metricool.
Look at that, Magnus.
Metricool.
Metricool. It's great because you can schedule from there all your posts, and it also has really good analytics. It's like a hub of like all of your analytics, and it's free.
Okay.
So it'll give you downloads, clicks, listens.
You put your RSS feed in there.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's so many different things you can plug in there. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, website.
Yeah, we need to do that. Okay.
Yeah, so it could just be a one-stop shop to where you can
I'll
kind
check
of.
that out tonight.
Yeah. I would look into that, man. But dude, I mean, you guys are crushing. I mean, 100 episodes is like really, really commendable. That's like sick.
Yeah, I mean, we just stayed the course, dude.
Consistency is key, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, man, Kyle, we appreciate you coming on, man.
thanks for
Like I
having
said, I appreciate our friendship we built over the last probably been 6-8 months or longer.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. Like, so I'm glad you could come in. It's always good to have a guest in store. One, you had some cool stories. We learned about cocaine, filling,
He loves cocaine.
weed smoking. You can make like a Ric Flair promo for all the stuff you do.
You could. There you go.
could.
But yeah, thanks for coming on Down the Podcast. This has been a good time, and we appreciate it, man.
Man, thank you for having me, Vaughn.
Absolutely, brother.
So good to meet you, bro.
Hopefully, we can
and,
help get you some business your way. So if you want to know more about podcasting, or you're thinking about it, these guys here do it, and they can help put you a professional podcast together.
Yeah. Check out my page for the quality. And happy to help. And if you guys ever need help or just another shooter and Magnus is sick, give me a call, man. Happy to help you guys out. And
he shot last time with pneumonia. We said, get in here.
get in here now.
Yeah.
But once again, thank you so much, guys. So.
Yep.
Absolutely, man.
That's it. We're
Appreciate
out.
it.
Okay, kill it.
See you.
I forgot to talk about that.